As for your take-home striking and grappling work today, I'm going to make one video, partially because I'm lazy, but also because it is nice to sometimes think about these two domains of sport, martial art, coming together and seeing what you can do with them. And I say sport martial art because that's the techniques I'm showing. That doesn't mean sport martial arts isn't good for real fights. It just means it has rules, right? So let's look at the jab, right? Got a foot forward, a foot back, my hands are up, my elbows are in, I step forward and throw a punch, right? You could start with flat feet and step. Eventually, you want to try and get so that you're on the balls of your feet and you move forward, right? Extra bonus points if when you jab, you cover your ear with your shoulder as opposed to punching here and leaving your face open, right? So if you like bonus points, there it is. Here on the other side, you don't have to go fast when you're practicing. It's a good idea to go fast sometimes, but not all the time. Just going slow lets you notice and think about things. All right, so there's my jab. Now what I want to talk about is changing levels. So the easiest way to do a jab, at least for me, is to jab right at my own shoulder height. Now let's say I want to punch lower, right? I'm going to go like this. Bloop. Right, so I dropped my level like a partial squat and then I jab. And again, I'm starting with flat feet here because that's easier to learn. It is okay to do a technique kind of wrong, if you know you're doing it wrong, in order to lead to the more complicated technique. At least I think it is. Okay? Drop, punch. And then eventually, you can come up with the balls of your feet, and you can think 1, 2. Eventually, it becomes kind of a curve, right? So do you guys see the changing levels idea there? So then, let's work that into the idea of what's called a shot in wrestling. So a shot in wrestling is when I step, put my knee on the ground, and then go here. It's actually a penetration step. I'm not a wrestler by trade, but I've stolen some of their moves. But the idea is to get low so you can grab the person's legs and take them down with a double or a single, right? So we're gonna try that penetration step together. And this is for when you're working on mats, right? You don't want to really hit your knee on the ground if you're on a harder surface. This is where, you know, sport and self-defense can be very different. The terrain dictates what is safe for me. Also the sport, right? If they can kick, if they can knee, I might not want to go quite that low, right? I might want to instead take my shot like this instead of putting my knee on the ground. So in your head there. So here, step, knee, step, stand, right? Step, knee, step, stand. If that's really difficult, there's a really good way to start getting that move. If that's still too hard, right? It's okay. And again, that's actually more applicable in some circumstances. Now let's put the two things together, right? Jab, jab, right? Sometimes, jab, jab. So you're mixing that up so your partner's sort of unsure what you're going to do, right? Are they going to jab high or low? Or come in for the penetration step. Does that make sense? So you can kind of mix those things together, see how they work, and then try it in your play whenever your play comes about again.